Watch KSTV weeknights at 7:30 and 11 Eastern, and anytime with Insight on Demand on Channel 103.
Today I'm reflecting on UK's first basketball loss of the season on that last-second dagger by the Indiana Hoosiers. And as a UK fan, how would you describe your emotions as time expired? Were you disappointed, dispirited, or even devastated? Is there ever such a thing as a good loss? Well, my first reaction is to reply, emphatically not. I mean, criminy, I hate to lose under any circumstance, as does Coach Cal. But I do think that this young UK squad can learn a few things from that loss at Assembly Hall, namely an improved endgame strategy and a vow by every single member of the team to give maximum effort at all times and not take a game off from time to time. And what we learn about this UK squad? Well, they certainly showed tenacity, coming back from two 10-point deficits in the second half, and for the most part maintained their composure in the most hostile environment anyone could have imagined, and certainly the most raucous crowd they'll likely see all season. But being purely objective, and sometimes that's tough for me to do, Indiana deserved to win that game. I mean, they didn't stall. They didn't use gimmicks. They took it right to Kentucky and outplayed them for most of the game. Even Coach Cal said the Hoosiers corralled every 50-50 ball, and they hit their three-point shots when it counted the most. And yet the Cats had a good, nay, an excellent chance to win that game in the final seconds. And that in itself speaks volumes about the resiliency of this young Wildcat team. In the grand scheme of things and the season, it was not a bad loss. In my opinion, a bad loss is one that knocks you out of the tournament or one that prevents you from capturing a conference crown late in the season. And by the way, what are the three most disappointing basketball losses you can think of as a UK fan? Of course, for me personally, at the top of the list would have to be Rupp's Runt's loss to Texas Western in the '66 NCAA championship game. I was a board operator at one of the Lexington stations, and I remember being so discombobulated at the end of the game, I could barely maintain my composure to flip the switch back to Claude Sullivan for the post-game wrap-up. Now, another would be the '75 NCAA championship game where the Cats fell to UCLA. John Wooden announced his retirement right before the game. He did that on purpose, the wily old Wizard of Westwood. And finally, the heartbreaking loss to Arizona, the 1997 NCAA championship game in overtime as Derek Anderson sat on the bench and watched. So is there ever such a thing as a good loss? Well, the regret and disappointment we all felt as fans, and I'm sure the players and coaches as well on Saturday, can and should serve to motivate and re-energize. Let's look back at that setback in Bloomington as merely a bump in the road to the SEC crown, the Final Four, and eventually our 8th national championship. We'll come back stronger next time, so let us not be bitter. Let us be better. I'm Ron Chilton for KSTV.